Yo! Video games.
What up, dudes? It's Matt here from YoVideogames. Get your bingo cards ready, boys and girls. It's time for our prediction video. Now, the Nintendo Switch is coming up real soon, at least the announcement is. Nintendo's bringing their little E3 in January to us all this Thursday evening, and then it followed, of course, by hands-on demonstrations live streamed by the Nintendo Treehouse at 6:30 in the morning on Best Coast time on Friday. Oi! But seeing as that we still got a few more days, I figured it's time for me to label and set down my Nintendo Switch presentation predictions. Now, I'm not in the know on really any of this stuff. What I know is more just technical gobbledygook of the system, so I'm not going into that. But what I will get into now is stuff that I don't have any idea on, but it's something I'm just going to take my guesses on. And I think I have a pretty good track record when it comes to predictions in the past. So with that out of the way, let's start with launch day. I'm calling it March 26th. That is a Sunday. Nintendo typically launches their systems in North America on a Sunday. I'm going to give myself a little bullshit wiggle room here. I'm going to say anywhere between the 24th and 25th. That's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday the 26th. It's going to release at any point during that time. I think basically what's going to happen is that somewhere in Japan and Europe will be between the Friday to Sunday. We might be getting it Sunday, which means it'll be like midnight Saturday launches and all that good stuff. So I'm calling it now March 26th, 2017. That is when the Nintendo Switch is going to launch. They're going to ride it out to the end of that month. Now, launch price. I'm calling it now. It's $250 for a basic model, $300. Well, possibly with a Pro Controller and a pack-in game, which is probably Splatoon. Now, do I think that price is fair? No. I think $250 for basic is probably too much. $300 with Splatoon and a Pro Controller, that's way too much. But they're Nintendo. They're stupid. They fucking live in a bubble. They don't fucking care the fact that a PS4 Pro would probably be the same price that you could get, and it's a much, much, much more powerful system. Doesn't fucking matter. They're offering this all-in-one casual console hybrid portable thing. It's totally worth it. Just like the Wii U is totally worth it. Just like the Wii U is totally worth the price of a PS4 now, right? Right? Yeah. Launch games. I think they're gonna push Zelda for launch. I'm I don't know. I feel pretty good about that. I think the Wii U version of Breath of the Wild is going to get massively delayed. It's just going to be the Switch version in March. That'll be a launch title. I think the Mario Rabbids RPG is going to be a launch title. Just, that whole thing just bewilders me. Obviously, as I said, with the pack-in game, I think the Splatoon update is going to be a launch game. I think there'll be some casual horseshit. Probably, you know, it won't be obviously be called Wii Play or anything like that, but it'll be something along that dumb Nintendo Land style thing where they're gonna try to make use of the feature of the system or find some clever way to bring non-gamers in, because they're always chasing that stupid non-gamer market. It might be something more social this time, because again, the Switch is kind of targeting the on-the-go game player. They're kind of going after that sort of mobile market. So we might see their casual horseshit game is going to be something that's more socially involved, something that involves some aspect of that. I think we'll get a Skyrim port that'll probably not run so hot, won't have mods, won't be the best version, but it'll be there and nobody will buy it, and then Bethesda will be like, see, nobody buys our games on Nintendo consoles. As for the launch window, meaning not launch day, but within the few months following it, I think we're going to get our Mario Kart 8 update. That'll come after Splatoon. So Splatoon on launch day, Mario Kart 8 update will be within a month or two. And then after that, we'll get the Smash Brothers on Switch. And Smash on Switch will be probably more like June, July time. I think there'll be a few meager half-ass ports of third-party games that are either coming out at the same time or have already been out. Probably more been out. They're not going to sell well. Nobody's going to care. And again, it'll be another one of those proof that nobody likes third-party games on Nintendo consoles. As for the fall, I think that Mario 3D platform game we saw, that'll be late summer. Like, looking all the way back to like Mario Sunshine and stuff, that came out in like August. And then Galaxy came out in November, and Galaxy 2 was May, so it's kind of all over the place. But I think late August, early September, maybe even early October is when we're going to see the Mario 3D platformer. I think their big holiday title will be Pokemon Stars, which of course is going to be a big HD version of Pokemon Sun and Moon. So that's going to be their kind of game plan for this year, is they're going to launch with Zelda. They're going to have some incremental ports of Mario Kart 8 and Smash Brothers come out and fill the time and the gap, then have a big Mario title in early fall, and then Pokemon Stars is their big Christmas time title. So I think that's their game plan for 2017. As for far-off announcement, games that won't be coming out this year for the Switch, I think we'll probably get a tease for Fire Emblem. That's going to be my guess. It's kind of been a good cash cow on both sides of the ocean, the Pacific Ocean, and I don't know how well it does in Europe, actually. I have no idea. But I'm going to say Fire Emblem something, waifu simulator, only for Japan, and then ethnically cleansed and, morally purified version for America. And that'll be teased. I think we're going to get a tease for a Monolith Soft title, Xenoblade people, and that's got me the most excited. They did basically retweet the Switch presentation and specifically it was retweeted by the people at Monolith Software, who only retweet when their stuff's being shown. So that's exciting. I think it's going to be teased probably in some way, just like they teased Xenoblade early on the Wii U's life. And I think they'll probably wrap it up with the Beyond Good and Evil reboot. Heavily rumored, probably happening. I think that's probably going to be their big show closer. As for Up in the Air titles, these are titles that I don't know necessarily that they'll be talked about this week. That's going to be Animal Crossing. I think Animal Crossing, it might be something they save for E3. So, they definitely can't show their whole hand. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But I definitely think that they're going to save some stuff from this presentation and save it for E3, because you got a lot of launch and launch window games to get through this week, so a lot of the more far-off stuff might be saved, like Animal Crossing. I think Mario Maker 2, or not Mario Maker 2, just Mario Maker, a port of Mario Maker for the Switch is up in the air. It's possible. I don't know if it's happening. I think that's kind of like 50-50 on that. I think ports of Bayonetta 2 and Wonderful 101 are really up in the air. It'd be nice, but they're not super successful games on the Wii U. But then again, nothing really is, but even so, these are nowhere near the success of Mario Kart and Smash Brothers, so I don't know if they're going to get a port. I mean, we know Platinum's supposedly involved in some way with the Switch, so they've got dev kits, but I don't know. I think that's kind of up in the air. Dragon Quest XI, I think, is up in the air. The Square's teased about the game being on Switch. It's possible they may show it. It may only be shown at the Japanese event. Or actually, I don't know how the events. I don't know if they're live streaming just the Japanese event with like subtitles or a translator, or if they're having recorded videos for each region. But if they are doing it that way with pre-recorded videos for each region, I imagine if Dragon Quest XI does show up, it'll only be at the Japanese event. RE7's up in the air too. There's been some things that have hinted that they might be making it. I think in one of the copyright patents they talked about cartridge-based format for Resident Evil 7. So that heavily seems to hint that there's a Switch version coming. It'd be 2 months late, but it's Capcom. The Resident Evil 7 is probably going to be a big game for them. They probably want to make whatever money they can, and hey, you can have, you can be welcome to the family on the go. So that's up in the air. I'm 50-50 on that actually showing up. As for wishes, so this is like total fucking fanboy wish for me. Games that I don't expect will be announced or shown, but it's possible. A Platinum Games title, more specifically something like Bayonetta 3. Bayonetta 3 was announced, I would fucking lose my shit. Retro Studios title, I don't think it'll be there. I think if Retro Studios title is shown at all this year, it'll be shown at E3. But it would be awesome if it was announced this Thursday, but I'm not expecting it. But I would really like it. I would lose my shit. Kind of, I'm curious to see what From Software is doing. If From Software is making a game for the Switch, I'm curious to see what it is. Like the current rumors that they're just making a Dark Souls 3 port or like Dark Souls Trilogy port, which I think is a complete and utter waste of fucking time. Any old version of Dark Souls, no matter what little throwaway add-ons they put to the game, is a waste of fucking time. You say, oh, well, it's Dark Souls 1 and 2, but with 60 frames. Who fucking cares? PC players have been doing 60 frames Dark Souls 1 and 2 for fucking years. So if From Software is just Dark Souls 1, 2, or just Dark Souls 3 port, fuck that. Waste of fucking time. Nintendo should never fucking agree to give them a dev kit if they're just gonna fucking screw them over like that. Complete waste of time. I would want to see a unique original title from Software, similar to what Sony did with Bloodborne. I would love to see Nintendo use From Software for an exclusive title, not a fucking port of Dark Souls 3 that no one's gonna fucking care about. Now, on the more happy things, here are games that are not happening for the Switch. They will not be at this reveal event, and they will not ever probably be on the Switch. Final Fantasy 15 port. There's no way in fucking hell Final Fantasy 15 is ever going to show up on the Switch. That game barely runs on the PS4 and Xbone as it is, and it's held together by metaphorical duct tape and hope. There is no way we are going to see that engine running on the Switch. Another game you're never going to see on the Switch is the Final Fantasy VII Remake. That game is being made, I think, primarily by CyberConnect 2 and other people, and Square, of course, and Lord Delays himself, the captain of procrastination, the man who does not know what a deadline is, Nomura. I don't know that that game has a chance of running on the Switch. I'm not expecting it. It's not going to happen. And if you were going to think, oh, well, Cloud was in Smash, so obviously that's a hit. No, it's not fucking happening. That game will not run on the Switch. Red Dead Redemption 2 will not be on the Switch. For one, I don't think that the Switch will be able to handle that game at all, graphically or just from the engine-wise. And two, Rockstar is still pretty bitter about Nintendo ever since the days of Body Harvest ended, so I don't expect that to ever fucking happen. So those are my big Nintendo Switch predictions. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what your predictions are in the comments below. And we will see you at the Switch event on Thursday at 8 o'clock on Best Coast time. So we will see you there, and we will see you on the channel. Later, dudes.